Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 43 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
And I'm Weston Pugh, and we're here to discuss all things real estate in the Dallas area.
Yep.
So, one of the things that I got an interesting text from Rachel Dennison over the weekend, and she actually received a mailer that looked very official, and it was requesting payment for them to reapply for her homestead exemption. So, that was a no. We're glad that you didn't pay it.
Yeah.
And we're glad that you reached out to us, and we're happy to help you.
Yep. There are. I'm going to use the word scam.
That's
There
a good
are
word.
Scams like that happen around the real estate business all the time. You know, one of the big ones going on right now is the frauds and wire transactions.
That
And
is true.
It is. You just got to be cautious
Yeah.
out there, and call us if anything looks funny or fishy, and we'll be happy to help you figure it out.
Yep. So I know that this is a big weekend that since we're back from the 4th, and you're having an open house this weekend.
I am. I'm holding open 908 York House Court, and that is in Rockwall. It's actually in a town called McClendon Chisholm, which is right there on the edge of Rockwall. And this is a really remarkable home on a 2-acre lot. These people bought this from us. They closed on it less than a year ago, and now things have just kind of changed in their life, and they're ready to move. It's a wonderful 3,300 square foot, 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, has a 3-car garage. It also has this big extra slab that is poured out there. So if you've got a boat, if you have an RV, if you have something like
Trailers.
that, it's a great opportunity for you, and it's priced at $569, and you know, at about $175 a square foot, it's hard to find that for new construction.
Yep. And I will be at 3541 Woodley, and that is in North Dallas. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. This one is in great condition, 1,700 square feet, kind of a light mid-century modern type ranch style home. One of the great assets about this home is that it has a pool that was installed last year by Riverbend Sandler's. Excellent condition, really great home. It's priced at $425. So if you're looking for being more in the North Dallas area, this one will be open on Sunday from 3 to 5.
Yeah, great home, great home. So let's jump into our houses we're going to talk about this week. The first one that we wanted to talk about was a home that's listed at 4406 Bowser, and it's a unit number 9. These are some really cool kind of Santa Barbara style townhomes that were built in 2006. This is a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath. The great location here. This is about a block and a half from Whole Foods.
Right.
And everything that little neighborhood there offers. You know, if you kind of break Oak Lawn up into 3 or 4 parts, I really think this is probably one of the best areas of Oak Lawn because it's Highland Park adjacent.
Right, and this is right in the Bowser, Holland, Gilbert neighborhood area, and so really walkable. The current owners were big joggers, and that's one of the reasons that it took them to this neighborhood. Commuting is really quick in and out, whether it's Oak Lawn or it's Lemon. You can get in and out of both downtown. You can get quickly over to Love Field. It's a quick, probably $5 Uber ride over. And then again, you have Wycliffe that takes you directly to either 75 or all the way over to Toll Road.
Yeah, and it is definitely one of the bird scooter neighborhoods.
That's a great way to put it. It is a bird scooter
So
neighborhood.
if you're a commuter that maybe needs to take a little flight from Love Field to Houston for the day, just take your little suit, your little briefcase, and jump on a bird, and you know you're right there.
So this one is an end unit, which is one of the favorites, and we probably encourage the majority of our buyers to look if they have the opportunity to buy an end unit. An end unit does a couple things. It gives you more light, and it's one of those it factors that people really love about townhomes when they come into them. It also has one less neighbor, which really starts to decrease some of the noise that there is. This one is set up in the traditional where it has garage in the back, 2-car, and then first bedroom is downstairs.
And it's got its own little courtyard there off of the front where the entry is. That kind of wraps around the side of it. As you go upstairs from there, this is where you enter into the kitchen. There's a little, I guess it's kind of a pass-through area right there where you've got great bar seating. You have the dining room there on one end. The kitchen is sort of a galley-style kitchen in this one, and it goes on down to the dining room that's there on the front of the house.
Yep. And one of the nice things about this kitchen is that this kitchen is both eat-in, as you said, with the galley situation, but the appliances are also really nice. So we have Viking appliances, both cooktop, refrigerator, and dishwasher. The cabinets, you can tell, are higher quality because they haven't been painted. So these are stain grade, which is a nicer level. And then also the walls in this one are partially Santa Fe drag and partially museum quality. So again, a really nice, clean finish out. In the front living room, there's a very large window with really the segmented arch window that allows for tons of natural light and floor to ceiling look as well, which is quite sought after in today's market.
Yeah, and that being on the front of the unit, you also get the benefit of the corner and the windows right there on each side of the fireplace, and there's a great shot of that. And if that Santa Barbara style of home is just not very often found in our marketplace.
And one of the things that not often you see in townhomes at this price point is this one is elevator ready. So they have strategically engineered to have 3 closets stacked on top of each other that would allow you to have the elevator. Therefore, it opens it up to people who are more interested in the lifestyle, but maybe not have the mobility for it.
And the elevators are not that expensive to add anymore. I mean, there are a couple of properties that we've asked to look into the cost of that. And, it's anywhere from $25,000, $30,000 to have an elevator added. As long as the property is built for one,
Right.
Adding it in is really very easy. When you go upstairs, you get to the master bedroom on this one. You've also got a little office area up there that provides that great little third extra space. If you need to have a nursery, then it's there ready for you.
Yep, and one of the things that the designers, when they created this home, was that they also realized it's real important to have washer and dryer on the same floor as the master.
Yep.
So front to back, top to bottom, this house is good to go. This is a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage. It's 2,100 square feet and built in 2008.
And this is priced at $485,000, brings it in about $230 a square foot. And again, great price for such a walkable house.
Yep. So we want to stay on Bowser because we found another one. It's 4218 Bowser Avenue. So again, we're going to stay just down the street. So everything is pretty much the same. You didn't cross any streets to get to this one. Clean. And this is a brand new construction. So this one was just finished, I think, in 2019, is what Chris said. And it is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and it is 3,600 square feet, which is just a little bit larger than what we're normally seeing.
Yeah, this is a great area. Again, very walkable neighborhood. It's a block and a half from one of my favorite restaurants, Gloria's. If you're an Uncle Julio's fan, okay, fine. You get to walk across the street for that.
Yep.
But it is kind of a different style than what we're seeing down there, with it really taking on so much of the lot.
Yep. And so this was one of the ones that we hadn't seen styled before, A, because it was bigger, and then B, just this look was a little unique to this area, and so we thought it would be important. So this one has the front is the garage versus the back on the other one that we had. This one is laid out to where bedrooms 2 and 3 are on the first floor, and there is also a second living room that's actually on the first floor that overlooks the backyard. And the backyard was a surprisingly good size.
Yeah, I mean, it would be large enough to put a pool in if there weren't underground impediments of some kind, but it's really a great space for having it's almost like having a home in the city.
It was really unique because for us to have this, and it is in the city so much, that being able to have your own pool is a true luxury, and would be if all of the stars aligned and there wasn't the impediments, this would be a true value add if you did put a pool in this house.
As you go upstairs in this one, you come up into a center landing, which is a little bit different floor plan than what we're seeing out in the marketplace with most of them. You kind of come up these really cool iron balustrade staircase, and then off to the right-hand side, you got the living area, which is on the front of the home with a wet bar, and then on there's another little bar right there in the dining room
Right.
area, and then in your formal dining room area, and then that continues on backwards toward the kitchen as you head toward the back of the home.
So one of the things they've done is they've not skimped on the finish outs. So we've got
No.
wood on the stairs. We've got really nice matte finished wood in a lighter gray, not a deep gray. And then they've gone ahead and even in the kitchen, they've went ahead and brought in the Viking appliances. They've gone in with 42-inch cabinets plus the additional cabinet on top that's glass and lit. So it actually has a strong feel for what we're looking for in today's buyer. So if we were looking, this could be anyone that's looking to downsize. This could be looking for someone who just is from a more metropolitan area and really wants this feel and wants this space.
Yeah, and this is one of those things. The way that's open to the second living area there or first living area is one of the things that's real popular right now. Many people want to be able to have that camaraderie between the kitchen and the informal dining and the living space.
And one of the things that, as we got to the third floor on this one, you turned the corner and I heard you say, wow. And this master bathroom does not disappoint. It's probably one of the more uniquely high fashion, if you can call a bathroom that we've seen that is within this price point. From right here, that is actually, it's kind of hard to depict, but that is a wall of glass that looks into the shower that is behind the tub.
Yep.
And so it really creates an L-shaped tub or a shower area that is enormous and really conveys elegance in there.
Double head shower there. It also has the rain shower head on it. Lots of elbow room there. It really a really well done master. The master closet on this is truly amazing.
Yeah.
It is larger than many bedrooms that we've seen.
Yep. And one of the other things that, just like in the other Bowser, this one has a small web parlor off of the master. The difference in this one is that it actually opens up and allows you to look down below into the living area. So this one is going to come in, let's see.
It's priced at $1,049,000, and that is about $291 a square foot. Really just a unique property for Oaklawn. Certainly has the value there. And we'd like to say thank you to Christopher Miller for letting us talk about his home.
Thank you very much, Christopher. And the next one we're going to do is, everybody has heard of the street Turtle Creek. So this one is 3883 Turtle Creek Boulevard, unit number 1511.
Yeah.
And this is in the very, very nice area of Turtle Creek.
Yes, this is also known as 21 Turtle Creek. The site that this sits on was actually originally part of the Holy Trinity Church. It was their school, their Catholic school, that was built in the late 1800s, and then in 1940, Jesuit High School took it over, and that became their original high school location. So it was then in the 1960s, Jesuit moved to North Dallas, and that's when this building was built. It was one of the original high-rise buildings of Dallas.
That is fascinating, and you heard it here first. This is a great location too, is because it's really close to Wycliffe. So, and there's also trails on Turtle Creek, and then you also have the Katy Trail that would get you up and down all the way from Knox all the way to the American Airlines Centers and everything in between.
Yeah.
Commuting is really strong in this area as well, because Wycliffe can again take you over to the toll road and then back over to 75, giving you an easy commute path. This area again is really close to a lot of restaurants. So if you're new to the area and aren't familiar, this would be a great one. Looking at this home, being that it is going to be on the 15th floor, it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 1-car garage. It's 774 square feet. This would be great for someone who was looking for a true downsize.
Absolutely. And this is one of those buildings where, it has gone through the core renovations. They have redone the elevators in the last several years.
Right.
They have really restyled the outside of the building. It was a 2-pipe system building for a long time where you either had heat or you had cool, and now those systems have been changed out where each one has their own independent system in it. It really is a lifestyle building where you virtually have no maintenance whatsoever. beyond vacuuming your floors inside.
And that's a great way to put it. It is a lifestyle building. And so one of the things that we were able to notice is that it had a hotel-like lobby. It had 3 different areas. And here we can see that this is an amazing view. If you were able to peek just a little further to the left, you'd be able to see the Ferris wheel that's at Deep Ellum. Some of the other things that you can see from this view on the balcony would be City Place, Museum Towers. There was a building that was in front of us, so you couldn't see the Calatrava, but you were all facing that southern direction.
Yeah, it's a truly a unique building. This is one of those true mid-century modern style buildings that has immaculate grounds. It has 24-hour concierge at the building. It is a very well-managed building. The amenities package on this include the great grounds here, this swimming pool. There's a hot tub hidden up under the trees there to the right-hand side. And then the amenities in the building are just as amazing as they are outside, because you've got conference rooms that people can come down and conduct business in. You have kind of general living rooms in the building that you can come down and hang out. Here's one of the common areas down there that this has all been recently, I'm going to say, redone within the last 8 years or so.
Right.
And they've really done a great job of kind of keeping the original style of the building with it, but modernizing it and updating it, and allowing the building values to continue to go up with the rest of the properties around it.
Yep. And as we were actually touring this building, we noticed that there were multiple people in a lot of these areas. So it really does have a sense of community. So if you were new again to the area, this would be a great place to quickly meet people and begin feeling like you were part of Dallas.
Yeah, and it's even got a great gym down in the basement that is available to all the residents there. The HOA fees on this, I can't remember how much those
We are
were.
at $558 a month.
$558 a month, but that is all bills paid.
Right.
And so for someone who is on a fixed income, wants to control their living costs,
Yeah.
whatever that might be, it is a great opportunity. This unit's priced at $224,900. That brings us in about $290 a square foot. And we want to say thank you to James Farias for letting us talk about his home today.
Great home, great location. If you have interest in that, please let us know.
Yep.
The last one that we're going to move over to is going to be 510 South Willamette Avenue. And this takes us into Oak Cliff. And this is just a little south of Jefferson, off of 8th and 12th.
12th Street.
Yep. And this is one of those areas that is really beginning to catch on and develop. And I would say that a large push from that is going to be the growth of Kessler and the surrounding areas and the Bishop Art District. So we've got these feeders that are really attracting new construction, as you can see in one of the houses we're going to talk about. And they continue because we've got lifestyles that are now happening that are really fun over there. We've also got Hampton Bridge, and we've also got the Calatrava that are allowing people to get quickly into Oak Lawn, downtown. And so it's not like you're being stuck and rerouted down 30, up 35, or all the way around to 75.
Yeah, and this is a really great new construction home, a good sized lot. You have lots of room in the back if you were trying to do, if you wanted to do the pool again, or, just wanted to do outdoor gardens, you've got that opportunity. It's got that rough brick exterior on it, which is so popular right now. 5-light front door that has frosted glass on it, so you get the privacy, but you still get the light, and which is really important in a house of this style.
And the way that they've constructed this is that front bedroom right there on the left-hand side, that is actually with closet, own door, so it could be a 4th bedroom or it could be your first office. They've gone through and actually used really nice tile throughout the entire downstairs. So this is a really great use for pets. If you got them running in and out, this is easy to maintain. And the configuration of both the windows, the walls on this living room really are nice in the fact that it's easy for you to place furniture, still have views, and be able to interact with your kitchen and your dining area.
Yeah, this is one of those houses that I walked into and I was able to place furniture in it, and that's it's not my forte, but it was. But the layout of this works really, really well. It does have the covered back patio here. You can see the dining room off to the right that opens up out to the backyard and gives you those really pretty views if you were to do some gardening or, whatever you want outdoors. You're gonna be able to view that.
And one of the little features that I noticed is the location of the powder bath, and they did a really good job of putting the powder bath in the hall that connects the garage to the dining room or to the living room versus actually sticking it in the living room or kitchen, which is a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, and they have really good sized bedrooms on this. All three of those bedrooms also have that cove ceiling.
Yeah.
And that just gives the room more height. It makes the room feel bigger to you, basically.
Yep. They put the second and third bedroom on the front, and then between the second and third bedroom is the second bathroom, and then this is the master, which is off the back of the house. Really good windows, good ceiling height, as you were saying. One of the things that they did, again, very well, and I've been impressed all week with the homes, is the master bathroom. Master bathroom was impeccably done. It had dual vanities. They've done a really good job with using marble-like
Porcelain tile, yeah.
Yep. And almost created like a wet area by putting the actual tile on the ceiling as well. So it's just coming these extras that just make the house feel so much more luxurious.
Yeah, and this builder used nice fixtures in it. I think one of the other things that he has done that kind of shows he's gone above and beyond, beyond is just in the bathroom here, you can see that he's used, pulls on these cabinets, and you just don't see builders that do those little extra things. And then, when the buyer gets in, they're like, oh, weren't those included? So it's a value add.
Makes the houses that much more livable. So again, this one is priced at $479, which brings it in at $184.80 a square foot, and that is for 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, right at 2,600 square feet.
And we want to say thank you to Rob Elmore for letting us talk about his home today.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Great homes. We're glad to have brought those to you.
Letting us share those today.
So in a couple of episodes ago, after the big storms, you and I talked about what do people need to do to make sure that going forward, if they have storm damage, that they get the most from their insurance company, that they're not taken advantage of by the vendors. And this is a little bit of us transitioning to Texas summer heat is coming. And if you're not from Texas summer heat and you're not familiar with our expansive soil, you're going to be in for a little bit of a surprise when the foundation begins to move.
Right.
So what we thought we would do this week is give you some tips for maintaining your foundation in Texas summer heats.
Yep, and this is really important for the maintenance of your home, the value of your home, just the overall health of it.
Right.
And really it's all very simple things. It's just really kind of paying attention, even if you're not one of those homeowners that, maybe this is your first home. Here's just a few things that you can start with that I think are going to make a difference.
And it is, and they're little things, and the little things that you're going to notice is that you're going to see cracks, or you're going to see cracks inside, or you may even see cracks outside. The other thing to watch for is how do doors shut, or do they stick? These things begin to show.
Yep.
And that's the beginning signs that there are changes in your foundation.
Yeah. So number one, inspect your home. That's really take a walk around it, get out and look at the outside of it. Like Weston said, look for, cracks in the brick line, or cracks around the doorway inside. Look for holes that are where they don't belong, where maybe a piece of mortar has fallen out. I know this sounds scary to some people, but if you have a pier and beam foundation, go ahead and crawl under it. It is worth doing at least one time to kind of understand what the underside of your house looks like.
Yeah.
And, look for moisture, look for signs that you have some dripping water. Look for, even around your perimeter grade, look for signs that you might have water that is getting into under the foundation, because those are all going to come into play.
And sometimes if you do this crawl under, make sure it's not right after a rain, because it will be natural for there to be water under there for a little while. If it's still there 2 weeks later, that's when that should be called and questioned why it's still there.
Yeah, and number two is maintain the moisture level around your house.
Yep.
Consistently. That's one of the big things that we deal with here is the water causes our soil to expand and contract so quickly that in the summer when it dries out and all that clay in our soil goes,
Right.
you know, and then in the springtime it's when it's really rainy and they just go,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's exact sound, but it's close.
It's pretty scientific, I have to say. So one of the things you're trying to make sure is that the soil doesn't pull away too much, that it allows the foundation to dip and move, and then it causes damage to itself. A lot of times now what we've seen is municipalities require irrigation companies to actually put a zone that is directly and only for the foundation.
Yeah.
And so your foundation does get watered. One of the things to do is to make sure that the sprinkler is working properly.
Yeah, and that those are really kind of the number two, is make sure it's not too wet, not too dry. Check your sprinkler system. If you don't have a sprinkler system, consider using a soaker hose system. This is really a little bit more than just throwing a soaker hose around it and turning it on. There are some really kind of specific ways you're supposed to do that. So if you're going to do that, certainly reach out to us and let us send you some documentation that kind of tells you how to do that, because you don't want to create a problem where you didn't have a problem before. So.
And you'd be surprised where it actually is located, where you put the hose.
Yeah,
So.
and last of all, check your gutters, because your gutters are designed to pull water off of the roof, not let it pond around it, and actually push that water away. So make sure that all of your downspout directors are connected on the bottom, and they're not just kind of dangling off to the side.
And the third one that we're going to talk about is check for proper drainage and grading. And because so many times we see this as an item that shows up on inspections, so we're really trying to make sure that the house and the water are situated so that water does drain away, and that it's not the reverse, and that the water is draining into the foundation or into under the pier and beam foundation.
Yeah, definitely avoid negative drainage, which is what you were just describing. Again, check the gutters on your outlets and make sure that those are pulling your water at least 5 feet away from the foundation. And last of all, consider a moisture barrier. If you do have ponding under your foundation that can't be controlled by grading or by whatever, then consider you putting a moisture barrier in down below.
Yep. And then here is one that we have learned recently is when we get into these dry seasons, your soil dries out so much faster when it has large trees or heavy vegetation around this. And so one of the things is to watch for these trees and make sure that they are actually getting enough water, that they don't pull the water from around your foundation, because at that point you're left with a situation where the soil is too dry, begins to shift, and that's when it can become damaged.
I was reading, as I was kind of putting some of this stuff together earlier this week, that some of the trees that we have here, especially the trees like the pecans that really need a lot of water, can draw up to 150 gallons a day out of the ground.
So that would be really hard for your sprinkler to keep up with if you weren't doing a true deep, I think Patrick called it a 20-minute cycle on each zone. So.
And these can use water from under your foundation very, very quickly. One of the other things is, if you are considering putting some new trees in, consult with your arborist, go talk to the people at your nursery, and get their opinions on how far away from the house should you plant it, what species of trees should you be planting, how much water are they going to need. Those are all really important things to know.
Yep. And you also want to take, and if you feel like you're having an issue, it is time for you to do a plumbing inspection.
Yes.
And that is them coming out to look for fresh water line pressure test to verify that the water isn't leaking under a slab or any type of foundation. And then also to make sure that the sewer lines haven't become collapsed or broken, whatever, versus trees and whatnot, again, causing a movement in the foundation.
Yeah, and that many of the homes that we have inside the LBJ area right now have reached the age where they've got the cast iron plumbing, and they're at the point where they are going to have those issues naturally. And then if you add any kind of movement from the foundation in, it just exacerbates that problem.
Yep. And one of the quick ways you can kind of do like an idea test is just to check your meter and make sure everything's off. If the meter's moving, that could be signs that you do need to call a plumber. And last but not least,
If you have signs of a problem, reach out to professionals for help, because that is going to be your best way to solve this. Have a professional evaluation of your property done, and that can be contacting a structural engineer, contacting a plumber, and having those hydrostatic tests, or having the sewer line scoped, and see if there are some issues going on. We've even had some customers who have had instances where plumbing leaks have caused foundation problems on their home, and there might be some insurance coverage that they're able to do out of that as well.
Yep.
So,
one of the things, we always want to use a foundation company, but when it comes to this situation, we really want an unbiased third party that doesn't get paid to put piers in to actually come up with a pattern if piers need to be installed, and give you a zeroing out, like, so that you can know that this is where the situation is this year. If you feel like in 4 years you have situations, you can have them check it again and compare, because you have a baseline that you've created from your initial contact with an engineer company.
right. That's a really, really good point to make, Weston.
So I think
Yeah, that's really our tips for maintaining your foundation for this week. So hopefully that was helpful to you, and you got a little bit out of it. Today was a great show. I thought we had some good properties, and that was, I think, some timely information for people. So,
well, I'm happy to be back. And if there's any questions you have about homes that you've seen, or have topics that you'd like for us to discuss, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
absolutely. And we want to say thank you for tuning in today. Lots of ways you can reach out to us. Hopefully you're on our Facebook page watching this right now. If not, go visit that. Also visit our Instagram account. We usually keep that up with houses that we have on the market, different things that are going on. We usually have a little synopsis of what we talk about here. Our updikepugh.com webpage, there's lots of detail out there. And you can also sign up for searches there on homeprice.fyi. You can get an instant property value on your home. Just go put your address in, hit submit, put a couple of other pieces of info in. You'll get a value right away. Last of all, reach out to us by phone. Our number is 214-377-2223, and we would love to hear from you.
And remember, we want to be your realtors for life.